Welcome to another episode of the Hearthstone Report. We got a couple new cards to discuss, including a really important one, the Madame Lazul Legendary. But we'll get into that in the end because we'll do them in the order of the way that they were released. So first we have
talking about release. One quick side note.
All right.
They have announced the release schedule for the cards.
Yeah.
The major rollouts are starting on Monday, so tomorrow. Yeah.
So then that's when we will typically get into like the sort of the finish line of the expansion teasing, and you'll get new cards every single day. I'd recommend everyone go check out and subscribe to the Hearthstone subreddit as well, because those guys are usually the first to kind of come out with the new cards. Yeah. And feel free to, if you want to, post those cards in our Discord as well. As soon as you see a new card, drop it in the Discord. We'll do it as well if we can find the time to do so. But I think I just spread the information. So improved morale. 1 mana warrior spell, deal 1 damage to a minion if it survives, add a lackey to your hand.
Actually, it only says add a lackey your hand, but...
Oh, it says add a lackey your hand. That's a spelling mistake.
Yeah.
Well, it adds a lackey your hand. Okay, so what do we think about this card? So you can think Acolyte of Pain?
I think this is very flexible in that it can be used to damage an opposing minion, generally preferably not kill, but if necessary you can. Or it can be used to trigger one of your if damaged or while damaged effects.
It's called Enrage, but not really.
On your own minions, so it is very flexible, especially in Warrior, because you have a lot of those effects.
Yes, Warrior does that a lot, so this card fits into the class, and it's potentially good.
And of course the lackeys are really strong.
Lackeys are very good payoff. Seems like a sort of baited arrow. That's what this card reminds me of. You have a base value in it. That will always be the case, and for a specific requirement, you get extra value out of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that directly connects because baited arrow adds something to the board, but of course, generally comparing 5 mana spell to 1 mana spell is tough.
Generally, that's what it came up with, right?
Sure, yeah, there is definitely comparison there, and I think the dealing 1 damage and getting some extra value on top, it basically brings up the question if dealing 1 damage and having a lackey is worth 2 mana to you, and I would say that the lackeys are definitely worth slightly more than 1 mana, so it should probably be valuable.
Definitely value, I think. One, like, just for comparison, the lackeys are they're 1 mana cards, so just think the lackey that deals 2 mana, 1/1 deal 3, definitely good value. And the other ones too, 2 mana, 1/1 summon a 2-drop, it's good value.
Yeah.
So generally, seems like a decent card. We'll see if it finds play. 3 mana warlock spell, Reforms Scheme. So it's a common card.
Yeah, and it summons 1/1 imp, upgrades each turn. The part that upgrades is the number of imps.
The amount of imps, not the strength of the imps. Still, 7 imps for 3 mana is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean...
Call me this with Grim Rally?
Yeah, I mean, this kind of, in a way, compares to Hurik the Bat.
Yeah, but it's better. And
this is better, except that it can't be buffed in hand, which is arguably the one use for Hurik that's actually useful.
Yeah, I think this is, like, play this, Grim Rally, 6 2/2s, not too bad.
That's definitely one of the obvious plays. There's definitely a few others. There's Sacrificial Pact in case you need to heal.
Yeah, or this plus Hellfire.
Because it's just a 1/1. But generally, wanting to go wide is definitely not a bad idea. Knife Juggler, and this is pretty good.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get more demon synergy too, because maybe something about going wide with demons. Something give all your demons +2 attack. The Timberwolf of demons.
Yeah, and I also think this fits into Zoo in general.
Looks pretty.
Into the Zoo playstyle, and we talked about Zoo in the last board, which actually only came out a few days ago.
Yes.
And this fits with it as well. So
now, typically in Zoo, you don't want to hold your cards for too long, but it seems like a good value bomb because 7 power for 3 is very tempting.
I mean, if you want to play an aggressive deck, you want to get it early and have other cards to play. So if you have it in your starting hand, by the time you're running out of cards to play, you will have decent enough value out of this.
So we'll see where this goes. Omega Devastator, 4 mana, 4/5. Warrior Mech Battlecry. If you have 10 mana crystals, deal 10 damage to a minion. So Dr. Boom still brought his stuff. And this, by the way, is the original art of Omega Defender.
That is literally the first thing I noticed about this card when they showed it in the video.
I am most delighted that they now finally used this.
I was watching the video, and the first thing I was looking at, I was like, wait a second, that's Omega Defender.
Yes. JJ doesn't like it. I love the art. It looks amazing. One of the coolest robots I've ever seen in the game. And I actually like the fact that this is actually a pretty good card too.
And I think this card definitely has better fitting with the art because It doesn't look very defensive. It does look kind of devastating, though.
It's a lot better. It's got the Chill Wind Yeti stats, which are good. If you have to play it on 4, it's good. Play it on 10.
And it's a mech, which is helpful.
Yeah, if you play it on 10, it's great.
This is a good removal card compared to Crowd Roaster, which is played a lot, and which is arguably, once you have 10 mana, it's arguably worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think this is a good card. It
looks strong.
It has the mech synergies. It can be discovered by Dr. Boom.
Yes.
Did we mention it's a callback card? It's a callback card. It's an Omega card.
The Dr. Boom control warrior is getting a lot better outside of the fact that it's no longer odd.
Yeah.
But Dr. Boom Mad Genius is a hell of a strong hero card.
I've actually seen an interesting post on Reddit about how the Dr. Boom pool is getting better. Also by the fact that Meatwagon and Scorpomatic are rotating.
Although I believe the only 2 mechs that rotate.
Yeah, but they are relatively weak. So by comparison, the pool becomes better.
Yes.
And the first thing that they're adding to the pool is really good.
Yeah, it's an Omega Devastator.
So that means that Omega Assembly and Dr. Boom are getting slightly better pools.
Yes.
So that's also something to consider always.
This is a very good card. I like it a lot. I'd give it 4 to 5 stars. It looks good. And then the big one, Madame Lezul, or Madame Lezul. What was it? Is she French? Where are you from?
I think she's a troll, so she's from Azeroth, which is not Earth, which does not have France.
Let's just call her Madame Lezul then. 3 mana, 3/2 Priest Legend. Battlecry, discover a copy of a card in your opponent's hand. Meaning that if you play this on turn 3, you'll pretty much know your opponent's entire hand most of the time.
I think this card is best played in late game though.
Well, if you're looking for big combo pieces.
Because in general, your opponent's gonna have a lot of mediocre cards in the early game, situational cards, and by the end, when they're coming closer to just having the cards that they want on their hand, and when you can also make use of the cards that you're getting.
But don't underestimate this as an early game control tool, I believe. Knowing exactly, first of all, what your opponent has gives you a good chance of what to play around.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot of good information.
Yeah, and also, in a control deck, you can, say you play Hunter, right? You play against a Hunter. I really like Kill Command of this, right?
Yeah, that's true.
If I can get it. That's gonna help me as a controller.
Although it's usually just gonna be 3 damage.
Still, that's fine,
yeah,
though, right? Kills a Hoffer.
This definitely, if you think about it, it has the stats of a 2-drop, basically, of a relatively good 2-drop.
Yeah.
It has an effect that is a better version of Mind Vision, basically coupled with some of the advantages of Chameleos, which is sometimes ran.
In the beginning, I undervalued this card because of the low stats and somewhat I didn't estimate the effect as high as I did. I kind of compared it negatively to Curious Glimmerroot,
which was also a really good card.
That was kind of it was a good card. That was kind of my first instinct. This is Curious Glimmerroot, but just a little bit worse. But then
I think it's better.
Yeah, I think it's better too because of the intel. That's what I was thinking about. The intel. You know 3 cards.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, there is some people that play Chameleos, and there's a reason for that.
You get to know 3 cards and then pick the best one.
And as opposed to Chameleos, while that does give you more information over time, this you can actually make use of the card more effectively, because for Chameleos you have to have use for the card that you're seeing that very turn. Next turn you're gonna have a different card, so this is more predictable in that regard. And with the stats, it's a 3/2, which is way better in that case than a 2/3, because it can trade into most 3-drops, and definitely most all, if not all, 2-drops.
I think all 2-drops.
Well, I think there's some with negative effects maybe, but it trades up easily.
Yeah, it's a good card. I underestimated it. I thought it was worse than Glimmerroot. I think it's really, really good because of the knowledge that it gives you. And as opposed to you, I actually like it on 3. I like it as a keep and a control priest.
And also, side note, it works with Princess Talanji, summoning all minions on your hand that didn't start in the deck.
Talanji's terrible and it will never work.
Theoretically, if you could get a high enough drop minion, it would be worth it just from that. Likely won't. Would need more pieces.
Control priest is gonna need to find an identity without Anduin.
That's true, yeah.
But we still have the cloning gallery. We still have Mali, still have Velen and the Mind Blast in the cloning gallery. No more Lyra, but that's all still there.
Right, that's sad.
I
liked Lyra.
Lyra was great. This doesn't really go into cloning gallery, I feel like. This goes into control. But we'll see where control priest is going. Lazul's scheme looking good. And kind of working with that. Forbidden Words, looking good, working with that. The 0 mana spells we've got so far.
Oh yeah, by the way, Lazul's scheme, Forbidden Words, kills Mechathun if the scheme wasn't had long enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's another way to play that.
Yep, but I think Hemmett's gone, isn't he?
Yeah, you would have to legitimately draw your entire deck.
Yeah, debatable. I'm not sure how that's going to happen. Well, you can try with Gadgets and Auctioneers.
You can also with no track lyrics and like social feeling and that kind of stuff maybe.
Yeah, but that's not that reliable, right? We'll see. I think people will try a lot.
I'm saying it's possible. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's possible.
And Lazoo looks like a very, very strong control tool.
That's of course also one of those things where you can clearly differentiate the pros from the amateurs, or rather the beginners.
Yeah, we're not gonna say that we're pros, by the way.
Yeah, I think
intel. Knowing 3 cards in your opponent's hand is worth a lot.
Yeah, if you know how to play around it, then.
Yeah.
Because if you just start playing, that's probably not very useful to you.
Exactly.
But if you have a bit of experience with the game and you know, based on those 3 cards, what your opponent's trying to do or how they are probably going to use them, you can more effectively play around.
In Druid, they can actually tell you what they're doing on turn 3, as opposed to only knowing that after the first infestation. Something I've noticed about this set, generally, I don't think we've seen any really bad cards yet, have we?
Well, I mean, Oblivitron is questionable, maybe.
Okay, yeah, but like no cards that made you go, this is just trash.
No, I think there's a lot of situational cards in there. There's no really categorically bad ones.
So far, every single card was like, I can see this being used in ways.
I think, interestingly enough, no card so far has been really overpowered, but also none have been really weak.
Yeah.
I think this definitely
it's pretty good.
Is a good addition to the game as a whole so far.
So far, it looks really nice. No terrible pack filler.
Although we've so far seen 16 out of 136 cards, so that
is true.
Might not be the best indicator.
That is true. But so maybe they're putting their best foot forward. But maybe the set's gonna be really good. So let us know your opinion in the comment section. Go join our Discord. I believe I mentioned it in the beginning. We have a Discord server. Link also in the description. Free to join for everyone. You can go in there, talk some Hearthstone to us in the community. You got a great community there. You got any questions? Maybe you're a beginner or newer to the game. Just ask around, and everyone will help you out. And what do you think about the cards? What do you think about Madame Lizzie? And what are you looking most forward to? So let us know. Drop a like on the video. Sub to TrashcanTV. See you next time, JJ.
That's it.
That's it.